Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, a couple of things. First, big shout out to my mum for receiving these roses and my dad for putting them in water so they can last a little longer. And number two, I have the sniffles today. So, I do apologize for any sniffing or any sneezing. I'll try my best to get rid of the worst of it. Yeah, there will be a lot of sniffing, so apologies in advance. But today we're taking a look at your soulmate. Now, for the most part, I will be talking in terms of a romantic soulmate, but if that doesn't apply to you, then make this fit how you can, or maybe this reading is just not for you. And it doesn't matter if you've already met them or you haven't yet met them. We're going to take a look at their physical attributes today specifically. And if you have someone in mind, this could be confirmation. If you're already in a relationship, this could be confirmation. But yeah, we'll take a look at some tarot and oracle cards, as well as some homemade physical attribute cards that we will shuffle on camera for you. So, as always, we have three piles. For pile number one, we have this beautiful jade crystal. For pile two, we have an amethyst. And for pile three, we have citrine. So, as always, timestamps are in the description below. Go ahead and pick your pile. I'll give you some time with these cards in a bit. If this reading resonates, then please remember to like and comment. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. And yeah, that's about everything. So go ahead and select your pile, and I'll see you at your reading. Pile number one. Hello, welcome to your reading about the physical attributes of your soulmate. So, if you picked this beautiful jade stone, then welcome. This is your reading. So, as always, we have a bit of a format. We're going to start by taking a look at an introduction to your person, who they are, where they are, maybe some ways you can identify them. Then we'll take a look at where they are in your journey towards you. And then finally, we'll take a look at some messages on what they will teach you in this lifetime. And finally, we'll shuffle some physical traits on camera for you. Before we get into the cards, I want to say that when I was shuffling your cards, it was chaotic to begin with, and then everything calmed down. So I feel like that might be an indicator of what your relationship will be like with this person, or already is. It might start off like really crazy, really chaotic, maybe very high energy, high intensity, and then over time it will like calm down and you'll get into like a rhythm with this person. So we love those kinds of relationships. So let's start with an introduction to your person. What are they like? We have two tarot cards and two oracles. To start with, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This person will not leave. They are not the kind to leave when things get difficult. In fact, they might be the kind to stay a lot longer than they should be staying. Because they might be the kind to get attached very deeply. I don't know if they get attached quickly, but when they do get, into a relationship, when they feel that connection, when they build the connection, it feels like they kind of have a hard time letting it go, even if it gets to like a toxic point. They might have some attachment issues. They might have like an anxious attachment style, or they might be the chaser in relationships where there's like a runner chaser dynamic. They might be the chaser for the most part. But yeah, this person might actually be a little afraid to be alone in a lot of cases. Um, yeah, they might be the type that's like, I know this is an uncomfortable relationship, but I would rather be with someone, even if they hurt me, than be alone. There might be a lot of like inner child work they need to do, or a lot of like demons that they might battle if they are left alone. I put demons in air quotes because I really don't believe that there's negative traits per se. There's just things that help us and things that don't. And I think this person might be carrying a lot of shadow, and they need to do a lot of shadow work, but they're afraid of it. And so instead, they'll find things to distract them, like relationships. And they'll stay until the other person leaves them. I don't think this person has voluntarily broken up with many people in their past. Um, but they will wait until the other person breaks up with them. Purely because they're afraid to be alone. Okay. Next, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Oh, I'm hearing no new friends. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this person has a hard time walking away, even if things are really hard. They would rather stick to the people that they know and stick to the situations that they know than go out and find something new. And both these cards are in reverse, which is like, it makes me think that these traits are either on their way out or they are about to grow out of this by the time they meet you. Or alternately, they do not serve their mission at all on this planet in this lifetime. They don't serve their life's purpose, and maybe that's why they haven't come into your life yet. If they haven't. I mean, if you know this person, it's likely that you're not in a connection yet. And it might be because they're holding on to so much from their past and they're afraid of trying new things out. They might also be the kind that's like, if you say something like, we need to talk, they automatically assume the absolute worst. And they'll kind of already enter that conversation with a mindset of, oh, this person is about to leave me, even if you have no intention to. I mean, obviously, if this is your soulmate, you have no intention to leave them. But they might have a lot of fears about people leaving them. And because of that, it's like they don't want new information. They don't want things to change. They're really afraid of change. I think that's like heavy shadow work they need to do. They might currently be in a toxic relationship that they know is past due its lifespan, I guess. Or they might be in a relationship when you first meet them, and then over time they finally find the courage to walk away, or they'll just have got out of it. I'm just throwing possibilities at you just to kind of help you identify this person. And also we have an air and a water card in reverse, so there might be either like an air sign or a water sign. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these oracle cards. So, some more information to introduce you to your person. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Yeah, I think they might be coming to the conclusion that what they think is like intense, life-changing stuff, like petty arguments, they might take every single conversation entirely too seriously and too personally. I think what they're learning is that none of it matters. I think, in fact, I'm hearing that one of the first conversations you will have with this person will be about how futile everything is when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. This person might have some nihilistic tendencies, I'm not going to lie. Um, it's like they are at one end of the spectrum taking everything entirely too seriously. And then they have this like awakening moment and they switch to the exact opposite extreme where they're like, well, I guess none of it matters then. And then it's about like trying to find a balance for them. Interesting. Or they might just have like a very interesting perspective on life and love and relationships and all of that stuff. And you might share some like when we look at zoom out, it almost feels like very like higher self conversations or very non-earthly conversations where you will talk to this person about really like out there things, you know, maybe something like UFOs or parallel universes or what happens after we die or before we're born, things like that. You might have those types of very non-earthly conversations with this person. And then we have unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, I do think that this person has been in a lot of karmic relationships. They might be in one when you meet them, and I think you will help them grow through it. Or your relationship with this person might span several lifetimes, actually. And you might have karmic contracts with this person, which makes sense, you know. If we're meant to spend the rest of our lives with a person, or just any of our lives with this person, there's bound to be some kind of karmic exchange there. So that makes sense. But also, I think this person, one of their biggest lessons in this lifetime is to learn to let go and release connections that no longer serve them. And I do think you will go a long way in teaching them this. As their partner, you might help them feel stable enough in your connection that they feel like they can safely let go of people and situations that are no longer serving them, that they were bound to due to whatever reason. Yeah, I do think you will do a lot of healing together, and your presence in their life will give them that security to finally walk away from stuff that they no longer need, which is amazing. Part one. Okay, so let's take a look at where your person is in their journey to you. So I've shuffled 2 tarot cards and 2 clarifiers. And yeah, let's have a look-see. We have the 3 of Wands in reverse. And to clarify, we have the 3 of Coins, or the 3 of Pentacles. 2 3s. So somewhere between 3 weeks and 3 years. You might have known this person for either 3 weeks or 3 years. Or it might take that long for you to come together. Oh, interesting. So we have fire and earth now. And we have the water and air. Yeah, I do think this person needs to find a balance of all the elements, so to speak. But where are they on their journey to you? They're not trying to go anywhere. The 3 of Wands upright talks about leaving home and leaving what's familiar in order to chase the things that you want. It feels like that in a bit of a stuck energy right now. In fact, I do believe you know this person as a friend or an acquaintance or just as a familiar face, but you're not considering anything romantic with them because they might be involved with someone else. Because the Three of Pentacles talks about collaboration. They might have like serious commitments elsewhere at the moment. And because of that, they're not trying to step away from that quite yet. If you don't know this person, this is why it's taking them so long to come to you. It might require a bit of patience on your end. I mean, obviously, don't wait around for someone you don't even know exists. But when it comes to your soulmate, you might, in fact, have to go through a few karmics before you get to this person. If you already have, then you're on the right track. But it might take a bit of time for this person to be free enough to come find you. So the next two cards we have are... Oh, that was a loud honking. We have the Ace of Coins. And to clarify this, we have the King of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles, lots of earth energy. This person might be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm getting Taurus primarily because we do have the King of Pentacles here. But the point is, when they do come in, there will be like an instant commitment. I think you and this person might pine after each other for a while before you even have the conversation of like, let's get together. And because of that, you might very quickly get into a commitment, get into like a you might move in together real quick, you might get engaged, you might get married really, really quickly. It feels like you've known each other for so long as friends, and that's been like a slow burn. And then you have that conversation of like, hey, I like you, boom, done, sorted for life. So if there is someone in your life right now that's like, where you feel that could be potential, but you know, they're with someone else, or you're with someone else, or there's just a lot going on, give it time, and then you'll see like instantly you'll be a unit, and it will be so solid and so powerful a connection where it's like it doesn't feel like an intense like all like, you know, all over the place, all over each other type connection. It feels more grounded. It's like, you know how the earth kind of changes over time, over like millions and millions of years, it's changed form, and you know, everything is different. I feel like you will grow and evolve together, but it'll be in such like a slow, gentle way that you will feel so secure. And in fact, I do think this is why this connection... Okay, so the reason this connection will be that kind of slow build and gently changing is because this person is afraid of like abrupt endings. And so over time, you will gradually teach them to trust and to have faith and to understand that not everything out there is supposed to hurt them. Even if things do change abruptly, there are certain things in our lives that stay permanent. This person might have had like an unstable life growing up, or, you know, an unstable teenage, or, you know, formative experiences that kind of made them think nothing will ever stay for me and everything will always be taken away. And then you come in and you just change their perspective about it all. And you like unlock this King of Pentacles energy in them where they feel solid, they feel stable, they feel like they can have needs and have wants and express them. and that they won't be abandoned for expressing these things. Oh, that's beautiful, Pal One. So let's take a look at some things they will teach you, because we've taken a look at all the amazing things you're doing for them. But we have the turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. You might be a little fast paced, Pal One. You might have a lot of fire and air sign energy. And this person will teach you to slow down. Or just the process of getting to know them and getting with them will teach you to slow down and have a lot of patience. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like you feel like two very different people who come in to kind of teach each other how to be a little bit like yourselves. And it kind of creates that balance of like, you teach them to, you know, become okay with abrupt changes, and they teach you to become okay with stability. Where you might be someone who hates the idea of staying put because in your past you might have been forced into situations that required your utmost commitment even if you didn't want to give it. And then this person comes along and they teach you that actually committing might not be such a bad thing. You might have had commitment issues in the past. You might jump from relationship to relationship. And then this person comes in and suddenly you're like, maybe I do want the home and the hearth. Maybe I do want the farm and the 20,000 cows and chickens and pigs and the babies and dogs and cats and all of that cool, like, homestead stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. And we have the squirrel spirit, believe in yourself in reverse. Okay, maybe the reason you're so fast paced is the same reason they are so slow. And it might be because you both share a common fear of like, if I'm not the way I am, then people won't respect me or people won't love me. It feels like there's a lack of self-esteem, maybe a little bit, where you think you have to be a certain way and do certain things in order to keep people in your life. And then when you come together, you show each other that you are enough. Just you existing is enough for people to love you. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to hold on too tightly or jump from connection to connection or be super fast paced or super slow paced in order for people to love you and respect you. Just who you are is enough. And that's definitely something they're teaching you, but also I feel like you're teaching them. And finally, we have the sandpiper spirit in reverse. Be playful. Why is this in reverse? Okay, so you know how I said you might be the type that's like, that jumps from connection to connection? It might seem to most people like player energy, but it's actually it actually might be that you feel insecure to the point where you take every single connection so seriously and it's so intense for a little bit and then it falls apart. And this person might come in and make you feel so stable that you're allowing your inner child to come out a little bit as well and to play a little bit as well. You might be entering all these connections and relationships and situationships or whatever in order to feel safe, in order to feel like you have stability, you have security, and then it just doesn't work, and then you're like, oh, I need to find someone new. Whereas for this person, it's the same thing, but opposite. So it's like, I need to hold on to this person because I finally found someone who makes me feel safe, and I will even if they end up hurting me a lot more than they end up doing nice things for me, I will hold on. I don't care. It feels like that kind of dichotomy where you're both struggling with the same issue, but in different fonts. So these are the things they're teaching you. So finally, to close off your reading, we'll take a look at some physical attributes that might help you recognize them. Now, obviously, this is a general reading, and only take what resonates. But if it feels a little outside the realm of possibility, then keep an open mind. Has piercings. Okay, this person might have one or multiple piercings. They don't have to be anything too adventurous. It could just be like they pierce their ears or their nose or something. But this person likely has piercings. Oh, they might have long hair, or it might be longer than is average for the kind of person they are. So if they're very like a traditionally masculine male, their hair might be longer than most traditionally masculine males have. Or they might just have this beautiful long hair. There might be rare features. So heterochromia, they might be a twin or a triplet, they might be double jointed, they might have some unusual genetics. At least for like where you are from, maybe this person comes from an immigrant family. Okay, let's take a couple more. Oh, okay. They might have birthmarks that you notice, some moles, freckles, things like that. Okay, let's take all of this. Yeah, hair again. I think there's something about that hair that really attracts you to this person. It might be like very healthy looking. It might be a nice texture, a nice color that you don't usually see. They are well groomed. They take care of their appearance. They might be someone who gets their hair done, gets their face done, does their nails, their body is on point. They take care of themselves and how they look. And finally, we have wears glasses. So this person might wear glasses. So that's your reading for today, pile number 1. That's some clues as to the physical aspects of your soulmate. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If this resonated and is something you're excited about, remember to like and comment. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and sharing your time and energy with me today. I really hope this has been fun, and stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 2, hello, welcome to your reading about some physical traits of your soulmate. So if you picked the amethyst stone, then this is your reading. Hello, welcome. I do apologize about any drumming you hear in the background. It's literally like 11 p.m. I don't know why there's drumming, and it's just now started, so... Anyway, so as always, we have a format. So first we're going to take a look at an introduction to your soulmate. We have a couple of tarot cards and a couple of oracle cards. And this can be anything from who they are, what they're like, what your connection will be like, just a general overview of your soulmate. These next 4 cards, so we have 2 main cards and 2 clarifiers, will talk about where this person is on their journey towards you. Finally, we'll take a look at some oracle cards on the things that they are teaching you through your relationship with them. And finally, we'll shuffle some physical attribute cards that I've made myself, just to have a look at some literal visual traits this person might have. So without much further ado, let's get started. So an introduction to your person. What are they like? We have the Empress. Beautiful, beautiful. This person might be very, very physically beautiful, very nurturing, kind, very Taurian, so they might have a solid square jaw. They might be very good with plants. They might be a parent. They might be very creative as a person, very introspective. It might feel like their entire purpose is to go inwards, process things, and then come out and create something out of it. Yeah, it feels like they're very... Their inner world is so rich, and it might be their purpose in this life to express it outwardly, outward, outside of themselves. Apologies, I'm like on allergy meds right now, because, yeah. So anyway, they might have very heavy Taurus placements, or just have a Venus in Taurus. They might be very physically beautiful. And we have the Six of Wands in reverse. This person might not be like the most successful at what they do. They might not be the most like celebrity type. That could partly be because they're quite introspective and quite inward leaning. I apologize about the glare. It's the Six of Wands, okay? Yeah. It feels like this person, they might not be the type to celebrate every victory ever. And they might not have a massive social circle that does celebrate things with them. They feel very like lone wolf, very solo. Not necessarily the kind that hates being around people, but mostly the kind that just doesn't need people. They might be shy to celebrate their victories in general, whether or not they know a lot of people who would. They don't seem the type to want big like pomp and circumstance and flair or anything like that. They seem quite content with what they have, but happy for more, happy to have more, happy to receive. But at the same time, not too pushy about things going very specifically that way or anything like that. We have You're Not Alone. What did I say? There might be a bit of loneliness. They might get too comfortable with their loneliness, and then you meet and instantly they realize, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to do it all alone. They might be the kind who refuses to ask for help. Not necessarily out of pride or ego, but mostly out of like, I don't want to inconvenience anyone with my issues or with my needs. They might be afraid of coming off as too needy, honestly. And because of that, they might not share how they're feeling. They might like shut down a little bit if they're upset or if things are going a little haywire. I feel this person does really like keep to themselves. And you might have to work quite a bit in order to get into their inner workings, inner circle, that kind of thing. It might almost feel like chance when you meet them, because this person doesn't go out like that. They don't necessarily have loads of friends like that. You might meet them it might feel like random chance, where you just happen to strike up a conversation in a place where they wouldn't normally be, or where you wouldn't normally be. Yeah, I feel like the way you meet feels very serendipitous. It's like, you don't know they exist, and then boom, they show up. And then that's it. And I think you do teach them a lot about connecting with people, about how just because you have a person, just because you're around a person, doesn't mean you have to lose who you are and lose your sense of safety in isolation. It could just mean that this person becomes part of your comfort zone. And we have no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Interesting. When you first ask this person out, they might say no. Or it might take them a while to respond, and you might initially take that as a no. But I do think it's because they grapple with this fear of, should I let someone else into my life? Will it ruin what I've so carefully built? Because I do think this person is sitting on something valuable that they haven't even shared with the world. And they've been so dedicated to their craft or their work or whatever it is. It almost feels like they're afraid that letting a new person into this will kind of throw a wrench in it all. And then they might resent you. But that's just something they need to grow through, honestly. Is the idea of, I can be an individual while I'm in a relationship. Just because I'm with someone doesn't mean I have to give up all of my independence. I have to give up all my personality. And I think you might teach them that by being someone who holds space for them to grow and evolve while supporting them. I think you might find it a little odd that this person seems almost overly polite to the point where they're like, they might want to offer you advice, or they might want to ask for your advice, and then they might stop themselves because it's like, oh, this person probably doesn't need to know this, or this person probably doesn't care enough. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to, waste their energy, that kind of thing. They might see everyone else's problems as valid, but their own problems as something that they just have to deal with. And I think you're kind of pulling them out of that shell. I don't think they're shy. I think they just isolate a lot. And it's because they see themselves as a liability on people. Oh. Okay. So let's take a look at where they are in their journey towards you. We have the 7 of Coins in reverse. And to clarify that, we have the 4 of Coins, or the 4 of Pentacles. I think you might know this person already. I'm not going to lie to you. They might in fact have quite heavy earth sign placements, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and also fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The reason they might refuse initially to invest too much in this connection could be that they're afraid that once they do invest in this, they might be forced to let you go. And that scares them. Yeah, this person might not be very forthcoming, or they might not be very eager to jump into a relationship really quickly, or, go out on a date very quickly. Because to them, when they invest in something, it has to be long lasting. I don't think they do flings. I don't think they do one night stands. They might not have been with many people. Very big relationship history or anything like that. I don't see that. I think this person is quite choosy about whom they let in, because when they let someone in, they want them to add to their lives, and they want to add to that person's lives. They don't want to just take up people's time and energy, or let people take up theirs and then have it lead to nothing. And so they might be a little hesitant to let you in to begin with. You might find that they direct all the conversations towards you and your life. and, you know, the things that you do. And while in your mind you're thinking, oh, this is wonderful, this person is so interested in me. I'm sure they are. But it also feels like a bit of a defense mechanism as to where if they engage you in conversations about you, they don't have to then answer any difficult questions or let you into their life. Interesting. Very interesting. Where are they in their journey towards you? I think you know them, and I think you might be struggling a little bit to get them to really let you in and open up to you and be brave. You might be the kind of person who'll like tell it like it is. You have no fears about being honest or anything like that, whereas this person might in the past have been chastised for being honest or chastised for saying what was on their mind. And so they might be a little closed off. And that's why initially they might be like, no, I'm not letting you in, no. We have the 7 of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot they're keeping from you. But it might not be in the sense of like, oh, they are seeing other people and they're not telling me or they're lying to me or anything like that. They just... Do you see how afraid this fox looks of this shadowy monster out there? I think this person has a lot of fears, a lot of... Oh, another 7. Interesting. Their birthday might be on the 7th, your birthday might be on the 7th, or your birthday might add to 7. Might be a life part 7. A lot of earth sign energy though. Anyway, so you might think they're keeping a lot from you, but it's not that they don't want to tell you. It's that they don't want what they say to feel like a burden on you. Does that make sense? This person might have grown up just taking care of everyone and being like parentified or anything like that. They might be the kind of... Yeah, that's that nurturer energy. They might have been forced into like a parental role very, very early. Since they were 3, 4, 6, 7, like that kind of age. And because of this, they find it hard to express their needs and their desires to you. You might find that you might have to be the one to initiate a lot of things. You might be the one that calls them, or you might be the one that asks to hang out or things like that. And that's because they feel like if they were to ask you to call them, or they were to call you, or they were to ask to hang out with you, that they might be imposing on you, even if you don't feel that way. And you might have told them several times, like, hey, that's not an issue. Like, I'm not, just like call me or whatever. They might be like, no. Because that's scary and that's imposing. And what if you find that it's too much that I'm asking of you? So clarify the 7 of Swords. We have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, this person might be quite far away from you physically. And they might be a little worried about closing that distance. Because what if they, do all of that? What if you guys meet, hang out, whatever, and then it turns out that they have to let you go? I think this person has been forced to let a lot of things go in their life, and because of that, they just prefer to not invest in the first place. And in that way, there was nothing to lose. But what is this person teaching you? Because I feel like you're doing a lot for them. We have the Turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. This person is definitely a giver in every context, if you catch my drift. This person is definitely a giver, and you might find it a bit of a challenge to give as generously. And so this person teaches you Or you might be someone who you're happy to give generously, but then you might kind of look back and resent it a little bit and be like, what did I get out of this? And this person might teach you to give unconditionally and to be grateful for the ability to give to people. This person might definitely teach you about gratitude. They might be the more like spiritually inclined or spiritually evolved of the two of you. And they might teach you a lot about, you know, life and love and individuality, because they've spent so much time just thinking and thinking and thinking. This person is very in their head, which makes sense with the amethyst, which is a stone for the crown chakra. So it makes sense that they're very high vibrational, they're very introverted and very like, they look inwards for answers instead of looking outwards. And that could also, usually that's a sign of like wisdom and inner knowing and that kind of thing. But in this case, it feels almost like a toxic trait where they don't vocalize their issues and their needs. And you're left kind of guessing what's going on because they've gone quiet for a bit, or they're like down and upset for a bit, and you can't figure it out because they won't tell you. I fully forgot what that had to do with gratitude and grace, but it came out the way it wanted to. Okay, we have the groundhog spirit in reverse. Time to let go. You might be someone who won't let things go. I don't mean like people or objects or stuff. You might be the kind that will like, if there's an argument or a conflict between the two of you, for instance, they might be the type to be like, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. None of this is significant anyway. The point is that I still love you. I still care about you. Whereas you're the kind that's like, we have to sort this out right now. We have to talk about this right now. I don't think you're afraid of conflict at all. At all. I think this person avoids conflict like the plague, and you're the kind that's like, conflict, perfect, this is my jam, we're going to sort this out right now, we've got this. Whereas this person sees conflict a little bit as an opportunity for them to shut down and go inwards again. But what they might teach you is that sometimes it is important to look inwards before you express outwardly sentiments and, you know, fears and anger and stuff like that. It might be time to let go of the situation, step back a little bit, introspect, process, and then talk. Yeah, I think you might be someone who is so obsessed with being upfront that you might almost say things that you don't mean, or you might have unknowingly hurt people because you're so bent on saying every single thing that's on your mind. And this person helps you to slow down a little bit, to look at your surroundings, to take in, you know, what's really going on before you express. And finally, we have the lion spirit in reverse. Be generous of spirit. Yeah, you might have issues around generosity, I'm not going to lie, pile number 2. You might be the kind that's like, you will give if you have to, but you will kind of keep tabs on how much you've given. You might have an Excel sheet on like how much money you've given people and how much they owe you, which is great when it comes to physical things like money and stuff. But sometimes it can be, when it comes to things like love and time and affection, things that are priceless, you might be the kind that tries to put a number on it and try to kind of match, kind of be like, I gave this much, this person needs to give me this exact amount back. Whereas your soulmate, your person, is the kind to just not keep tabs. They might be, in fact, the kind to give money to people and then forget about it. And then you're coming in with a swoop, like, actually, they owe you this much, you need to go collect. And then you're the kind that will keep tabs on like, okay, today we spent X amount of hours and I did this and this and this for you. And next time we hang out, I expect you to do this and this and this back for me. And that might be like your anxiety trait, whatever. But this is not a reading about you. It's about your person. So we'll not go too deep into that. So I do think they might teach you a lot about being generous without looking for payback. So pile 2, let's go ahead and shuffle some physical attributes. Now, I made these myself, so they might not shuffle the most cleanly because they're not all the same size. And also I've like handwritten these, so I do apologize if they look messy, but let's see. Physical traits about pile number 2, soulmate. We have hair. Yeah, this came out before as well. Okay, hair. There's something about this person's hair. Maybe they mess with their hair a lot. Maybe they do their hair a lot. But something about that catches your attention immediately. Maybe their hair is a nice texture. Or maybe you're just someone who likes hair. And they have, colored hair. They might, like I said, they might color their hair a lot. Or they might dye their hair a lot. Wow, sorry my camera cut off, you guys, but we'll finish up quickly. This person might have colored hair. They might dye their hair a lot. They might do it crazy colors, something like that. Couple more, please. Couple more physical traits for my pile number 2s. Thank you. Okay. They might have long hair. A lot about their hair. And they might have medium hair, and they might have short hair. Did I just not shuffle these well enough? No, but I did though. I did shuffle these cards very well. So the fact that they're all, it's all the hair ones as well. Interesting. Okay, one more. They might be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and they might have heavy air sign placements. They might have heavy 7th house placements. And again, Libra with that Venusian energy. So yeah, that's about everything I have for you about your soulmate today, pile number 2. I really hope you enjoyed this reading and that it's given you some clarity and that you're excited to meet this person if you haven't already. Like and comment if this resonated with you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more tarot readings. Sorry about the cut in the middle. My phone. But I hope this resonated. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and sharing your time, energy, and situation with me today. I'm a little flustered, I'm not gonna lie. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So if you picked this citrine crystal, then this is your reading all about your soulmate, specifically looking at their physical appearance as well as just your connection, what it will be like, that kind of thing. So we have some pre-shuffled cards. We're going to take a look at an introduction to your person to begin with. What are they like? What will your dynamic be like? That kind of thing. Then we'll take a look at where they are in their journey to you. And then finally, we'll look at some things that they will be teaching you in this lifetime. Now, before we get in, I should say that when I was shuffling these cards, they absolutely had a mind of their own. They wouldn't shuffle to the exact number I needed them to be. And in fact, I think, you do have an extra oracle card here that refused to go back in. And one of these cards spun around when I was collecting them. So I do think this person is very, very defiant. They're very stubborn. They will have things the way they want them. And that's that. So you might have a fixed sign on your hands. But let's go ahead and get started. Oh, also we will shuffle some attribute cards that I made myself. We'll shuffle that towards the end. So to start with, an introduction to your person, we have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, this person is they might seem slow moving, and I think that's because they're obstinate. I think they're the kind that's like, I don't care how long it takes for me to achieve something. I've decided that I want it and I will absolutely get it. Yeah, very strong fixed sign and also earth sign energy here. I think this person is very determined to get things to go exactly their way, and they won't stop at anything to get it. And we have the Five of Wands. They're happy to fight whoever it takes to get to their goal. They might be someone who lives with a lot of conflict. They grew up around a lot of conflict. They get into fights a lot. But I do think it's out of principle. It's not just that they want to get in a fight for the sake of getting in a fight. I think if they see something that goes against what they believe, in a sense of what is good for people, what is good and right and that kind of thing, they're not afraid to take up arms for a good cause, is what I'm trying to say. We have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. I think when you meet this person, they will feel like a relief. They'll feel like a safe space for you to let go. And I think a lot of this is because of this sheer, like, solid presence. They will offer you the kind of stability that you've never had before, I think. They will be able to hold space for you to grow and evolve while they stay constant. They will never waver from who they are. Not in like a bad way, although maybe, sometimes we tend to get too comfortable. But it feels like this person, they know who they are and they know what they want and what they like. And they won't deviate from that. We have messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. That might have been their role for most of their life, honestly, is to be the calm, cool, and collected one, to be the one that brings balance to any situation. And because of this, they've I think they've grown kind of a thick shell to the point where nothing anyone says or does bothers them, nothing phases them. But it might sometimes be to their detriment because they might bottle things up, and then eventually they have to explode. And that's when this Five of Wands energy of like everything and everyone seems to bug them comes in. And we have keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yeah, I do think this person will teach you that you are supported, you are loved. You might be someone who didn't come from a lot of support and a lot of love. You might be someone who struggles a lot with having people in your corner. And so when this person comes in, it might truly feel like a relief. You will feel like finally someone out here is here for me. I finally have someone on my side, someone in my corner, someone who will fight for me, who will root for me. Yeah, I think when this person comes in, you'll feel a kind of security that you've never felt before. And that's what they make you feel. You might find that you are so eager to hang out with them, to see them again, because they make you feel safe. Oh, that's beautiful. So let's take a look at where this person is on their way to you. So to start with, we have the Eight of Coins in reverse. And to clarify that, we have the Devil. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to tell you that this is not a connection that you need to work hard to manifest or anything like that. You don't need to work for this connection because it is predestined. It is written in your soul's plan for this lifetime. And so you don't really need to do anything to bring this person in. They will just come in just the most effortless way. Alternately, you will likely meet this person at a social gathering. Maybe someplace that involves, some drinking, some, unhealthy habits. I'm not going to go too deep into that because this is YouTube. But you might meet them in a social setting, not a work setting. And where are they on their journey to you? They're learning that hard work and determination is not the only thing that will bring them what they want. That sometimes you have to allow life to work its magic. You don't have to be so bound by contracts and things like that. Sometimes you just chill out and let things come to you. You don't always have to force yourself on a situation in order to get a result. And I think once they learn that, they will kind of stumble into you. Next, we have Death in Reverse. I think they are towards the tail end of a cycle, but they're not quite past it yet. And that might be what is keeping them from you. It's because they kind of refuse to grow beyond this sense of like righteousness. Yeah. I think they might be battling the end of a cycle. They might be forcing, because this person is so stubborn, they're in a cycle. It could be a relationship, it could be like a work thing, whatever it is. They're in a cycle where they know that the end is near, but they're refusing to let it die. Because what does that say about them? They tie their worth to being able to see things through to the end. And I think this might be the first time in their life where things have not gone exactly the way they've planned. And I think they're having a bit of an epiphany of, a bit of like a panic moment almost. I'm surprised the tower isn't here. They might be having a bit of a panic moment of, this thing did not go exactly the way I planned for it to. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm losing my touch? Does that mean, something is wrong with me, or I did something wrong? Some stuff like that. I feel like they might be in a bit of a spiral. But it's all par for the course. And we have the Hermit. That's Virgo energy. This person might have Virgo placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Capricorn. Lots of earth signs. Yeah, I think this person might be on an introspective journey, actually. They might be looking inwards because of this cycle that they're forced to end before it's seen its completion. And I think that triggers them to go inside and do a bit of inner work. And then once they've worked through that stuff is when they come into your life. As far as time is concerned, somewhere between August or September, or between 8 and 15 months, years, that kind of thing. It's going to be a while before they come in. I'm not going to lie to you. Pile number 2. But it will be worth the wait. And so I do feel you kind of feel their spirit. You kind of feel like you might have conversations with the higher selves, and you might meet their soul in your dream state and stuff like that. But you kind of don't see them in the physical, and that's kind of irritating. But just understand that it is for your highest good, of course. It's annoying when people say that, I know. Okay. But if this half-baked version of them came into your life right now, just because you want someone, it would not last, and then you would lose on a true soulmate. Because that compatibility is not quite there yet. You are meant to love them, right? And part of that is giving them the space to do all the healing and growing that they need to do before they come into your life. So that's where they are. For our final cards that I've pre-shuffled, let's take a look at what they will teach you. Okay, finally, we have the hummingbird spirit. Be here now. They will teach you to be in the present moment. You might be someone who dissociates a lot as like a defense mechanism. And I think a big part of why they're in your life right now, or when they come in, will be to help you ground into the present moment. I think this person definitely does live in the present moment because they are so eager to keep things exactly the way they are. And you might be very easygoing. You might be like, let stuff fall the way it will. I'm good. And they might teach you a sense of urgency, a sense of actually you need to ask for what you want because no one else is going to give it to you unless you ask for it. Yeah. Next we have the starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. Yeah, I do think this person has no qualms about asking because they understand that we live in an abundant, infinite universe and they have no issues just demanding what they want from the universe or from people because they understand that there's an infinite, endless possibility that they will actually get what they want. And they will definitely rub that off on you as well. And we have the peacock spirit in reverse. Let it shine. Yeah, I think they might be an extrovert in the sense of they will happily express what they're looking for or what they want. In fact, when you first meet, they might straight up tell you to your face, hey, you're attractive. I'd like to get to know you better. No nerves, no nothing. Whereas you might be a little shy. You might be a little bit like, ooh, this person's a little upfront. I don't like that. But they will open you up, I think. They will pull you out of your shell. They will make it so that your default setting is to then also ask for your needs and your desires, especially with them. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, pal 3, finally let's shuffle some physical attributes that might help you recognize this person or be confirmation. You might have a 5 to 10 year age gap between the two of you. One or both of you might have piercings. They almost certainly might have piercings. And I do think this might be the adventurous kinds of piercings. I think they know what they want and they know exactly how they want to look. And their piercings might be a part of it. Ooh, lots for Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There we go. We have grey eyes. And hang on. Oh, okay. We have birthmarks, moles, and freckles. So those are your cards for the physical attributes of your soulmate, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated. If it did, then please remember to like and comment. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and spending some time and energy with me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope this reading brought you some clarity. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!